In April 2023, NIAID allowed work to resume on the EcoHealth grant, while barring EcoHealth from providing any grant funds to the Wuhan Institute of Virology. The select subcommittee interviewed 2 senior NIAID officials involved in that decision. We were told that part of the logic in allowing the grant to move forward was preserving access to biological bat samples from your prior work. So for context, under the former iteration of the EcoHealth grant, the Wuhan Institute of Virology collected and tested bat samples for the presence of coronavirus. Doctor, it appears that when NIAID renewed your grant, they were of the understanding that you would have access to those bat samples. In fact, in a transcribed interview, a NIAID official testified that you had directly informed her EcoHealth had access to those samples. But in your transcribed interview, you testified that all of the bat samples that WIV had collected under your grant remained in the custody of the WIV. Do you have physical access to the bat samples the Wuhan Institute of Virology previously collected under your grant? Simple yes or no will suffice.
Sadly, we do not.
Do you have access to the genetic sequences of viruses found in those bat samples?
Yes, we do.
At any point, did you as a CEO of EHA demand that your team physically verify and cross-check the sequencing at the Wuhan Institute of Virology? Yes or no will suffice.
We cross-check all the information that comes out from all of our collaborators.
So you cross-check it, but did you actually see the conduct yourself? Did you go there to the lab, actually have access to the samples, and do the work yourself? Or were you taking the information, the sequencing you got from Wuhan and just assuming that it was correct?
For us to go to China and do the sequencing and the extraction of RNA and all that work ourselves
so much of this
would
is based
defeat the
upon
object of having a subcontract. The whole point is that the work is done in China by the Chinese researchers because that's what is the most efficient way to do that work. We then get the data from them, we cross-check it, validate it, submit it for publication, it's reviewed, revised.
So clearly we're taking the word of these Chinese scientists, and to state the obvious, having the Wuhan Institute of Virology send you electronic sequences through emails, as I recall, through your testimony, is not the same thing as physically having the samples. There's nothing stopping the Wuhan Institute of Virology from withholding certain sequences of particular interest or from manipulating sequence data for unknown purposes. In addition, the gap in understanding between you and NIAID regarding the status of these samples is highly concerning to me. Did you intentionally misrepresent your access to the samples to get your grant renewed by NIAID? Yes or no?
No, and let me explain why there may be a discrepancy in the understanding from NIAID. We were very clear that the samples collected with US taxpayers' money, because of the geopolitical issues and our grant being terminated, are now unable to be taken out of that lab. We were told that by the Chinese authorities. However, we had gotten access to genomic information, new information, sequence data, and that is what we proposed to work with NIH. In fact, it was EcoHealth Alliance, me, who proposed to NIAID in our renegotiation that we would not do any on-the-ground work in China, and we don't need to because we already had.
You seem to be giving a lot more information than what we were provided in the days of testimony that you sat down and gave our team, as well as that we got from NIAID. So clearly someone is either lying or somebody is clearly misrepresenting themselves.